Okay, so what to do today? Today is a bit more relaxed, I would say. So I will try to show you the EKDemPad workflow about how does this work together? How do I get the 3D model into Fusion? I try to show you how to change something in Fusion. I'm always struggling with it because I only use it every 3 weeks and say, look, you can move this, and then I think, where do I have to click to move it? Because I'm not really familiar with Fusion. I have not no idea, but almost no idea of Fusion. I have no time to look into it, so that's the problem here. But we will get this done. And then I would like to go on and show you how to create a component and how to use the new stuff we have in Eagle, how to create a 3D model and the footprint. How is this done? What do I have to do if I need a really new component? So the basics there, so that you know, okay, library consists of this, that, we have all these steps to do to get something done. Yeah, let's see. Now I have to look into my plan. We are a bit late, but it doesn't matter. So what would we have to go there again? This the come together was you came together. That's okay. Okay, so coffee break. I tried to organize a coffee now. Okay, so let's start. We did some that's a crazy word, okay. I would like to use one of the examples. No, I don't want to use an example. So yesterday, okay, we finished our layout, and now if this is done, I would like to connect to Fusion, or I would like to see a 3D model of my board. And if you use the libraries that come with Eagle, you have seen in the add dialog or in the control panel, if a library has a 3D model aside, you get a small indicator. And if you use these components, of course, then you have to do nothing else than to push it into the web, and then you get a 3D model. And that's what we basically have seen yesterday already. I take one of my projects. I don't know this one. Okay, that's a small LED board for a bike. No. Yes. You have always to read the messages. It's asking, do you want to delete, do you want to save, or what do you want to do? And so, okay, so that's an example. You see, it's not fully rooted. Doesn't matter. So, and we have some problems inside. It's not very nice. You see, for example, that the two capacitors here are not placed correctly. I don't take care of this because I want to show you some things, then what happens at home. So, if I'm ready with this, I could, of course, use the radsness command to calculate polygons. It looks like this. It doesn't matter as well because you get the polygons in the 3D representation as well. So, the next step is I go to this Fusion tab. Yeah, please try it again. Okay, that's not so nice. And it says what's the problem. It could be okay. It could be that, of course, I used this board several times. I linked it to there and there to different projects. It might happen that this project does no longer exist in Fusion because I deleted it. Could be. So it tells me there's a problem. I simply remove the Fusion link because in the board is anywhere a notice that says it belongs to this Fusion project. And I could simply remove this link and create a new project in Fusion. So, close again. I've removed it. Maybe, maybe it makes sense to save it. And then again I start. And now it asks me, do you want to link it to an existing design? So maybe you have already designed something and would like to put your board into this project, or do you have a new Fusion design? In this case, I decided to use a new Fusion design. Go to next. Then you see these are my Fusion projects here. That's what I've done recently, and I could select where do I want to have it in this project folder or in that one. I don't want to put it here. I could also, no, yes, and say OK. Now you see next step a list of the packages, and the green tick says, okay, there's a 3D package assigned, linked to it. There I have two, I don't have assigned it because, yeah, I didn't do it yet, so I simply will leave it as is, and now I push it. So what happens? It collects all the data we need, looks into the library I/O where the models are, and then puts this together and creates this 3D stamp model. No, it's not stamp, it's in Fusion format, so that Fusion can directly read it. So it's pushed now, and I say, okay. Here it says up to date, that's correct. Out of sync, because I have never, no, that's not right, put it on Fusion, up to date. Okay, why do you say out of sync? Because I haven't loaded in Fusion yet, that's the I have no response from it. I could click here on View on Map, and then I open the Fusion team. It's my hub in Autodesk. That's what you get, and you see the view. And if I say click on to View, yeah, you will see the board here, and you also see, yeah, I have a problem here. This doesn't fit, of course, but that's the first preview of the LEDs on this side. After the stuff on the other side, there's at the moment one problem. You see it if you know what you have to look for. There are no traces on the board. Just read yesterday evening that there seems to be a problem in Fusion or in Fusion team, where if you don't have a rectangular board shape, you don't get the traces at the moment. It's a problem. Yes, they already want to fix it. I don't know what they did. I think there was a new release of something, and so they, as it is all the time, you fix something, and on the other hand, you get some more bugs. So yeah, we will fix it. Usually, you would see the traces as well on top and on bottom layer. If we have a multi-layer board, yeah, this doesn't matter because inner layers, there is no information about this. It's only what you can really see. Okay. So what we can do here is, you could share this with other people. So I could here click onto my share icon, and I have a link to this. If I give this link to you, you can look into it. I can also send direct an email. I can also set some settings. Can you download this and so on, or do you need a password to access or something like this? So you can decide this here. And then you have the same. You get the link, click on it, and you see the same as I see. Yes, what can we do? First version, zoom in, yeah, the markup, for example. I can, for example, write some text, or I can select an area and say, I can draw something, whatever. I can, of course, write something, some comment, blah, blah, blah. And so you can, interact together and say, look, that's how it looks like. You would say, hey, the two capacitors don't fit and so on. So I would have go back into it and fix it, or maybe go into Fusion and fix it. Also, this is possible. So, yeah, that's what I can do here. And the other thing is, of course, here you have an option to download different versions, formats of this. Yeah, for example, the Fusion 360 archive. That means I could save this project in the Fusion format on my computer locally. Yesterday I had a customer who complained, hey, that's all nice, but I always have my data in the cloud. I don't want to have them there. It's true you have to have them there, but of course I can download it and can store it locally so that I'm safe and have it wherever I think it's safe to have them. So, makes sense. Or of course you could, if you work with Inventor, you could export this direct in the Inventor 2016 format, or I just said SMT. Different formats, STEP for all the other for all other software that can import STEP files if it's again Inventor, SolidWorks, or whatever's on the market. Then we have here DBG, that's a 3D format, as it is DXF STL for a 3D printer. You could have seen, I think Bitterlight or PCB Pool, they offer, I'm not sure if they still do, they offer a service if you send the board data to them. They can make really 3D printed board for you as a kind of example. It's quite nice to have. I don't know if it makes sense, but yes, of course, maybe you can put it anywhere in the cases.
Space modelling, prototype designs,
yeah.
Mechanical enclosures, yeah.
Yeah, sure, yeah. So it's quite nice to have. You can paint it and do as I don't know. Okay. Yeah, different formats you can export here. If I would start this, depending on the complexity, this can last a few minutes maybe. If it's longer, you get an email. Oh, there it is. No, it was something different. Then it's done. Then you could download it. Okay, but okay, that's the options you have here. Yeah, basically that's Fusion. No, that's Fusion Team. If I go and start Fusion now, so I don't have to do anything. I don't even have to go into Fusion Team. I just wanted to click onto View in Web to show you what happened. But as soon as I have pushed it into the ground, I can simply start Fusion. And I will see in the Projects tab that there is something new, and I see that's what I have pushed. Yeah, okay, I see that's an old, but this one is the new one. If I double click it, it will be opened. And I can see it here. So, yeah. Just yesterday or something. Okay, I can move it. And yeah, that's basically how it looks like. Usually you would see traces and the copper plates on the surface. And here we see these two red boxes. These are the two components I have not assigned. That's simply a simpler hole where I could put a pin or something like into it for connection. Okay. Now, you can also do changes. You're allowed to change the contour of the board in Fusion, and you're allowed to move components in Fusion. Because if I say, okay, this shouldn't happen, but if I say I have to move this component, I have to go into the PCB mode in Fusion, and that's usually done. I hope it works now. To double click here in this time bar. Not yet. No. Okay, come on. It's always. Click on it now. Double click. No, double click. Yes. Yeah, now it works. Okay. You see now in the PCB mode. And I also see all the components. If I open here, you see that's C1, C2, so I have all the components available. And now this one has to be moved. I can select it. And then I simply click there, right click on the component, and I say move PCB components. And then I can move it. No, I can't. So, and that's what I experienced yesterday, and then I got it done. I think I have what I have to do. Maybe I have to switch on the origin. There's something. This one, I don't know. As I said, I'm not very good in Fusion. let's try again. Why doesn't it work? Not the arrow. I'm in the PCB mode. It's here. Move. Perhaps we have to talk to it. No. Not worked. Okay. But that's not what I wanted to see. Again, move. No. It's something like that. Okay. Here you see an indication that I moved something. The two arrows here. Again, but why didn't it move as I wanted to move it? Why? Obviously, I take the wrong.
I don't know whether you have to press OK or
Yes.
dial it.
You cannot see the preview. Probably when you click OK. Yes, it's not.
But I should see it move normally.
Yeah, should.
Okay. Oh, okay, but yes, I moved it. Okay. But that's something I'm struggling. So I'm missing, obviously, I'm missing something. Okay, of course I can say no. I want to see it move. I say okay, sure, but that's not okay. Yeah, let's do it this way. So you see what I want to do, and I moved it now, and then I can say finish PCB again. So it's stored in this way, and I will go back. And I have to, there's obviously a shortcut to save it. I can write a command or something, so I say moved C2, and say okay. So here this will be updated, we will see a version 2 soon. Here it is. That's it. If I go back into Eagle now, I don't have to do anything else. So I simply go back into Eagle. Yeah, okay, I have this open, but you will see it's out of sync. So if this would have been closed, you would see this is flagged red now. So there's something not synced correctly. I go there and now I use pull from Fusion. I see the description, move C2 and say okay, cool. Now there's should happen something. If you're waiting for a class to it, but yeah, it's something you do not very often. Okay, it does not fit exactly. This might be the case that the step model is not exactly that what we have here, what I have drawn here on the silk screen.
But when the silk screen is usually bigger than the component, isn't it? So that's probably
Yes,
right.
yeah, correct, yes. So maybe we should have moved it, but you see we have also a problem with the height here. But just to show you, okay, there it is. Of course, what you have to do now, the component is moved, the traces are moved, of course. So the first step now I would do is to run a design rule check. Say, okay, is there any problem? And of course, I should maybe reroute some of the traces so that it looks nice again. The polygon, it's not online, it's not updated, recalculated automatically. I use the rat's nest command, or I click on the rat's nest, and then it fits to the new position of the capacitor. Of course, that's basically what you can do. I can. Okay, that's in that direction, in the other direction. I have some. So you see, it works in both directions. So that's the collaboration between Fusion and Eagle. You could also define the board as a PCB object in Fusion. That's what I probably can't not do. So I could use something like this. Well, no, that's something else. I looked for this yesterday. I think if I don't know how it really works. I could make a new project. No, again, test 11. I think 11 is a new number. Go there. Okay, then I have to close this one. Close this one. That's a new thing. So if I'm in the model, I have to do a kind of sketch. I don't know if I can do this. As I said, maybe that's top. I'm not sure. Draw something like this. No. Maybe size. So I have an object here. And now I need to what? I need a thickness.
Extrude out.
Yeah, I have to extrude. That's anywhere.
You have to click stop sketch.
This one. Yeah, I have to.
No, that's...
I have to select it before and then go to. Yes, there we are. Can I move it? Yes. Wow. Okay. Usually, the board is about 1.8 meters, something like this, so I could simply type it here. Just try. 1.8. Something like this. Okay, now I have my sketch done, and now I have to make a board out of it and just create a great PCB. Maybe I have to select it again. Modify this one. I need a, I think I need an origin. Do we have origin? Yes, there it is. That's okay. If I say finish PCB, that's all. No, not yet. It should turn green, I think. I'm missing something. Go into, I don't know, create PCB. Okay, it's already there. Do it again. Doesn't matter.
You have to go down into the timeline bit at the bottom and double click that. Or somehow.
No. That's it. No. No, okay. I think it's not yet what I want to have. Like, let's do it. Help! Okay, what's this? PCB status. Change. Yeah, let's do it. Extract. No.
You can set the board shape with the PCB profile thing.
PCB profile thing. But what to? Okay, it's in top bottom. That's select there. What? How? I don't know. Sorry. Yes, that's something I should. I've seen it once or twice, but I don't know what this. I'm missing obviously one very. There's so many options you should know. Sketch. PCB profile. Replace open. What's this? Okay, I don't know. Doesn't matter. As soon as it would be saved, I could of course bring it into Eagle again and then I can go. So you simply believe me.
So if you wanted to have a PCB with a relatively complex shape, you could start with Fusion, create your peculiar shape, and then bounce that straight to Eagle and then off you go.
I think if you have both, then it makes sense because people say that it's much more easier to create complex shapes in Fusion, then that's true because you have all the tools of mechanical design. In Eagle you have to type in coordinates and spread around with
So that's kind of an alternative to doing an Autodesk design, an AutoCAD design, and then doing
correct. You're very welcome.
Sorry, the lift's broken, so we're coming in drafts.
Sorry.
Sorry about this.
Okay, yeah, so it makes sense. If you have both, then I think it's much easier to say, I design the board here.
Yeah.
And then I bring it to Eagle. And then I bring the schematic into the board and then start designing as we have done yesterday. So that's
And so then if you need to adjust your board profile, you just bounce straight back into Fusion, tweak it a bit, go back, and it just does it automatically.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So if you start the scan, you go into the board, and you get your rectangle. That's what if I use Fusion and then pull it into Eden, I get the new shape.
Yeah.
So that's it's no problem.
I'll try that.
Yeah, try it, yes. So yes, and then tell me how it's working. As I said, I have to. Thank you. I have to look into Fusion. That's something we are asked to do, but I run out of time. So yeah, I will join a Fusion. Who trains Fusion? Yeah.
a little bit, but I have never
Never used the PCB.
PCB, yeah, that's
I think if you back up timeline to the sketch and then try and do the PCB outline from the sketch, if you bring the timeline back to the sketch.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
yes, for sure. When you will modify the sketch,
Yeah. You use the sketch as the PCB outline instead of the extrusion. So if you delete the extrusion.
no,
keep
you even I think.
Or just use the sketch as the, yeah.
Do you want to try it? Yes, try it, please. Yeah, maybe we can. Hey, I'm glad to learn something. Okay, you go back there. Okay,
Do that,
yeah,
and
let's
then
go.
go.
Then you say create PCB. Okay. Makes sense.
Maybe.
We finish PCB.
Maybe finish PCB.
I don't know what there's a green thing behind it, so if we then... There we are.
Oh, thank you very much. I've got 10 points. Or whatever you want to.
Extra cake.
Okay, cool. Yes. Yeah. So now I don't ask you for putting some balls in right now. Okay, let's leave it as it is. Now I have to save it, I think. Save. You ask for a name. Oh yes. Yes. Board. One. Here it is. Okay. So if I go back into it now, it's getting interesting. And I would like to. Does it make sense to bring it in here? Let's try. No, this won't work because it's linked to another project. So probably I should do. No. Yeah, maybe a new one. Now I just open a board. I don't have a schematic in the background. It's reasonable, so it says no for background annotation. Of course, you can design a board without a schematic, but it's much more. It depends. For easy layouts, it might make sense to simply place some script comments. And now if I go to Fusion and link to an existing design, then I get my list, and then I have added in to test, I think. No. What was the name of the? I know it was a new folder in projects, that's it. I think.
Test 11 or something.
Something like this, yes. So that's it. Yeah. You see, it always makes sense to use names you really can remember. That's what I never do. I always say, please use names that are make sense. Okay, what? I don't have to open it again. Oh yeah, we have more PCBs. Okay. I take this one. Okay. And now pull it from Fusion. Item create, yes. Now we should get something. Okay. Don't see anything. Ah, that's, yeah. I should have taken PCB3 because this was the last one I've made. Yeah, but the first one didn't work. There was nothing inside. So yeah, so that's as soon as you try to start to make errors, it's getting more and more complicated. Okay. No, now I have to pull again. Well, this was wrong. Okay. I have to go back again. Save time and go source, that's it. Again, I have here test 11, board 1, PCB 3 probably. Let's check. Oh, I clicked close. So I'm one of the worst customers you could have. I call support doesn't work, but pull from Fusion, let's try again. But yeah, maybe it works. I'm not sure if he remembers what I have selected before, because it simply closed the. Hey, come on, surprise me. No, that's not, okay. Again, let's remove Fusion. Let's do it this way. Okay, now again. We start from scratch. This one. That one. Should we check, can we check if it's PCB3? How do we get that?
Might be worth just start again, or go, yeah, just delete them all and do it again.
Yes. Good to delete them all. Yeah. Can I simply do this and delete? Delete. Oh, wow.
You can delete them from the timeline
Yeah.
as well, if not.
Oh.
You just write
Can I delete this here?
Yeah,
as well?
you just
Simply go back.
should let you.
There we are. Okay. And now you did a sketch again. Two-point rectangle, bring it. Something like this. Yes. Okay, something like this. And now you said create PCB. Okay.
And then you do the board profile in the, under the modify thing at the top.
Modify PCB profile. Okay. Thickness is already there.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
Should be.
Should be. Yes. Now the same. Yeah. Let's write some comments. So you know that's the reason why in most cases it doesn't work. On the other hand, I think it's not so bad to show what can happen, because I always had the problem if you watch on an exhibition, you go to the Altium booth, have perfectly prepared layouts, perfectly prepared demos of the new functions, and you're watching and say, yeah, for sure that's quite nice, but does it really work in reality? Is this working in reality? And so I'm more the chaos type. So doesn't matter. We try to get it running, and if you see the problems you have here, you learn that you have to take care on the steps. What am I doing? And you see, it's super annoying if I have to do this again because I didn't wrong first and I didn't delete it because it's working this way. Oh yes, no, that's what I said. Work.
That's way to learn by making mistakes.
Yes, yeah.
Not that them cost much money.
As I said, I'm a good customer. I would use the support every day. Okay, now we have saved it. Here it is. Now we want it to do. Okay. Now let's go back into Alien and do this stuff again. I will simply unload the steps that we have done. Okay, Fusion. I want to link it to an existing design. Now we try it again. Now it must work. If not, then it's time for a coffee. There we are. Here. And go into the Fusion. My first project. Yes. Now I have test 11. Board 1. I have more PCBs.
It must be 4. 4.
That's interesting. Why? Which one should we take?
4.
So,
4.
4.
Yeah.
Okay.
11 also must be.
Yes. My description. See, exactly, that's correct. Okay. Here we go. Okay, now we have this one. Now we do last step and then it's time for a coffee. I could use what? What do I want to do? It's interesting. Yeah, that's the reason why I type this stuff. Let's take 1 or 2 components. This one. And what else? Where it is? It's a different location. That one. And save it. Test it. And now I go back into Fusion. Push. Yes, 2 components. Go. As soon as it's there, you will see that there will be a message that tells you that something new. Come on. Yes, come on. Go into Fusion. There. Refresh the folder. Here it is, version 3. Don't see anything, it's interesting. Here we are. And now I think I have to close the project, the old one, and open the new one. Otherwise it would say you have this project already open, and here we go. Okay. Now I could go and try again to move components and so on. So that's yeah, but it works. So you see, if you can work with Fusion, then I think it's really easier to create the board there.
Yeah.
And pushing it to it. Okay. So that's this. So yeah, then we make now the coffee break. If you're okay with it, you missed one time slot for coffee in the morning. So yeah, let's have a short break. Okay.